So immediately typing to the best of my ability, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy in Google, and all I was seeing was headlines of kids my age dropping dead of sports I played.
Hi, I'm Bethany.
I'm Hannah. We're sisters.
We're also the co-founders of Heartcharged.
We both have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM.
And fun fact, we both have implanted defibrillators. So HCM, or hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, is where the left ventricle wall in your heart is abnormally thick, which makes it really hard for blood to flow in and out of the heart.
So HCM is commonly genetic. So actually in the year of 2013, my mom's sister, our aunt, found out that she had hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. She has no kids of her own. We have 9 kids in our family. So if it was genetic, statistically one of us for sure. It took my mom about 6 months to get an appointment with a pediatric cardiologist, and she could only get 1 appointment. So I had a few episodes of fainting and different stuff, and she had a very strong urge to have me go get checked first. Came the day, September 13th, 2013, I'll never forget it. I went in, and after doing, a heart screening, an echocardiogram, the pediatric cardiologist said, yep, you have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy.
So after Hannah finding out to the severity that she had her HCM, my mom was like, okay, I need like 8 more appointments. And they're like, yeah, in 6 months. And my mom was like, no way. So just a couple days later, I went in with a brother and a sister and my mom, and we all got tested, and come to find out I also had hypertrophic cardiomyopathy.
Months prior to me getting diagnosed, I was on 2 basketball teams. I was dancing in school, studying it 2 hours a day, and then I would leave, do basketball practice, and then I would go dance in a competitive team at a studio and do hours of rehearsal and classes. So I was super active. It's almost like a sense of grief in a way, because we were told, because there's no cure to HCM, it's all about changing your lifestyle. And because with it being too thick, it leads to having irregular heartbeats, which can cause you to just drop dead. And so being active, they're like, you have to stay away from that. You can't be physically active. You can't be doing anything that would be adrenaline based. So it was like, okay, just sit. Don't even watch scary movies. Just chill. And being a 14-year-old kid, you're kind of like, but I'm young and I want to do stuff with my friends and I want to live a life. It was really hard to kind of process that and kind of find this new reality in order to live.
That initial reaction, there's just a lot of unknown. What can you do? What can't you do? I was just had started dancing full-time with Miami City Ballet, and the doctors are like, well, we don't want you to stop dancing, but we don't know how it affects you, so like you're gonna need to dance 70%. And I was like, what's 70%? Like I only know like 110%. And there was just so much of what the doctors couldn't tell us, what we didn't know how to do. My heart got thicker through the 11 years that I've been diagnosed with it. So I actually went to college for dance, and on my last year in college, the doctor was like, your heart's gotten worse, you're probably gonna need a transplant, so you can no longer be a dancer anymore. I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do? But unfortunately, that's just kind of how this diagnosis goes. Even getting our implanted defibrillators, there was people that would see our scars and stuff and be like, that's gross, like we don't want to talk to you. People that just didn't understand it, they didn't get it.
And I mean, you look at us, obviously you don't think we have a deadly heart condition. And because it's a non-visible disability, a chronic illness that's hidden, it's hard to navigate social, especially we were teenagers when we were diagnosed, now we're young adults, navigating when your friends want to do something and how do you bring up like, oh, I can't do it, and then they're like, well, you look okay, you look well, you don't look sick. It's like, I don't have to look sick to be messed up, to be sick inside. And so that was really hard, especially being in high school, and especially even, the friends that you make in dance and the friends that you make in sports, and now you no longer have anything in common with them. We were very, very grateful that we had each other to go through this, and that we had somebody who kind of understood it to a level that nobody else got, especially when we were losing people around us that we thought were, like forever friends. Like anyone, especially since we got diagnosed, there was Google at the time and all that. You are so overwhelmed that you're kind of like, obviously I heard what my doctor said, but I need to find people who are living with this. I need to find out like what this looks like on other people. So immediately typing to the best of my ability, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy in Google, and all I was seeing was headlines of kids my age dropping dead of sports I played. And again, there's that gratitude of, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I got to innocently play those sports and not be one of those people who found out in the autopsy that I had this condition. But it kind of got very isolating because I was like, is there anybody alive out there? Is there any hope? What does this look like? Especially since I'm pretty much going to live with this my whole life. The minute we were diagnosed, we've always been big advocates, pushing for things, pushing this awareness. So we always were sharing our story. It wasn't until about 6 years into this diagnosis that we're like, let's really only make something specifically for this instead of just sharing our story on the outside or advocating on it, and let's really just like hone in on it to bring the greatest impact that we could.
I had just gotten my implanted defibrillator surgery, and I, being the dancer that I was and kind of like anal about how I looked and how I was perceived, I was really, really scared of what my scars would look like, what we call my jolt or my bionic bulge that was sticking out of my side. What were people going to think of it? Was I going to be able to accept it? And so the bandages come off, and I finally like face my reality in the mirror, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love my scars. I love this. It's part of me. This is who I am. And then I started realizing, oh my gosh, I probably wasn't the only one who has gone through this. Like, there's probably other young people that are like, I don't want to get that surgery because I don't know what it looks like. And I remember my doctor telling me, was like, but don't go Google this, like, because you're only going to find old people that are overweight with this device. Like, don't go look because it's not you. You're not going to look like that. And I was like, wait, that's crazy. So I was like, Hannah, let's use the power of social media and let's try to like reach other young people. So the mission statement for Heartcharged is to end preventable deaths from undiagnosed heart conditions.
And to offer patient-to-patient support.
To be able to help end preventable deaths, we do that through awareness and outreach. So that's either through legislation, which we've been able to help pass or be able to start.
I fought for my own life, and now I'm fighting for others.
An entire classroom full of kids dies each day. We can prevent 90% of those deaths.
Through donating automated external defibrillators. That's through the content that we post out there. That's through the free CPR and AD class trainings that we do. And then the patient-to-patient support is people knowing that they're able to reach out to us, talk to us. It's sending care packages to newly diagnosed patients.
We do virtual meetups with people. We've even had opportunities to have in-person meetups whenever we're in a city, because it's something nice to have that something to meet somebody in person, to be able to hug them actually. And it's amazing how many friends we've grown from that, just because we've been through something so traumatic and life-changing. It can bond you in a way that I don't ever have to meet you, but like, you are a close and dear friend because you understand my heart. Literally, you understand what it means to live with a condition like this.
I think something that we're really proud of and something that we're still working on is that we got in Miami-Dade County was free heart screenings for students. We're big advocates of that because it's something that saved our lives.
This year we were doing infant CPR, and with that we had a mom who, one day after she was trained, she had to use CPR on her son when he all of a sudden went blue and unconscious in the back of the car as they went to the park. So it's things that like that where you think, wow, we really got to save somebody's life, impact their life, because even people are like, I don't know if you realize the impact that you're having, because sometimes you don't. It's nice to hear from people that we are making an impact, and as much as it doesn't pay us or whatnot, that's kind of where the payment comes from, is the people whose life's been touched.
It's just incredible to see that our work and our impact of what we're able to do is touching lives and helping save lives. Something that me and Hannah always end with is just remember that your life doesn't end with a diagnosis. So, life can be really, really hard, and we don't choose the diagnoses we get, but unfortunately, if we do get one, remember that your life isn't over and that to live it to the fullest that you can. And then the other thing would be to please follow us on Instagram at Heartcharged.